Blog Talk Radio.
What's up, everybody? And just like last week, we crashed, baby. We crashed. So this is Tyson Roush. Let's Talk Jets Radio. This will be part 2 of our show. We apologize. Like I said, this is new software, which has been working kind of all right, but we kind of had a crash. So let me bring back, at Talk Jets Radio, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Let's Talk Jets Radio. And I'll bring back on Mr. Tyrone. Tyrone, what's up, man?
Hey, bro, I was just in my zone, baby, and it's zoom. Hey, you know, we've been doing all these shows trying to get this software right, man, and it's just, it just does what it wants. It has a mind of its own. I'm just figuring that out itself. But,
yeah, man, yeah. So we was rolling. Well, let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. Back-to-back calls, Jay and Dan both gave you a good argument.
Hey, well, look. Now, I ain't arguing with the last call. Man, listen, Jay, I'm going to give Jay that fight. Jay gave me that smoke, and I'm going to accept that today. But listen, I'm not defending Gage. And listen, anybody know me know, listen to the show. I have no love for this dude. But I got to believe at the end of the day, man, that we have to get better. And, that said, I love the Jets, man. I want to see us win, man. And that's my whole point, man. Like, I hope Douglas is not that damn weak, bro. Well, if he's the kind of guy that's going to let Gage run his job, and his ass needs to go as well. But I'm just tired of this organization being a shit show, bro. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of losing, man. I'm sick of being in the media for this type of stuff going on. That's what we're known for, man. And the
thing is, like, the one thing we try to do with the show, and I know, like, I get labeled as a Gase hater, and I bash the fans, and I bash the team, and I bash it, and that's not really the truth. It's just we try to show both sides of the story with everything. Like, it's very easy to jump on Jamal Adams and rip him to shreds and call him all these things. And listen, and a lot of it I agree with. Like, I hate the way he's handling a lot of this. But to me, Tyrone, and this is part of being a longtime fan with the Jets, is we've seen certain things happen in the past, and a lot of this seems familiar to me. And it's like, and then you look deeper, and while everybody's going to leak a story. You have Jamal's going to leak stories, and Jets are going to leak stories. Everybody's going to have an agenda. The media's going to create stories. The fans, it's just everything happens. But sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. Ed Reed hinted towards it. Antonio Cromartie hinted towards it. It happened in Miami. And something significantly changed with Jamal, which makes me wonder what in the hell is going on in this organization. And the reason why I question things is because they haven't been well run in the past. Now, that's not an indictment on Joe Douglas, because Joe Douglas, this is his second year here, first year making moves. But he came in after the head coach, which makes you wonder. When the head coach and the general manager both are on an equal level and they both report to the owner, that makes you wonder. Like, all these power struggles make you wonder, which makes you question things. And I would love nothing more to be wrong, Tyrone. I mean, I've been wrong many times. Everybody reminds me, and I'm cool with that. But it's like it's not right to not question things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't think you're wrong. Listen, when the hell does $17 million a year don't fix a problem? When have you ever heard that $17 million couldn't fix an issue? And this is the situation. So you're right, man. We are a bad organization, and no one can defend that, because we've been Jet fans long enough to understand. But I just hope, man, and I pray that one day this shit's over with. I want to be normal. But the question is, like, I don't pray. Like, I want to know, what is the answer to how do we answer this question? Like, how does this Jamal Adams do? Who makes the final decision here? Is it ownership? Is it Joe Douglas? Is it Adam Gase? Who's making tonight, right now, at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night? Who is saying, you know what, we're going to trade Jamal Adams? Like, who's making that decision for the New York Jets? Who's making it? I hope it's Joe Douglas. I mean, I think at the end of the day, he's the one that needs to make the decision. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the ownership has always stuck their nose at where it didn't belong at. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even, bro, listen, I don't even care, man. Gates is a dumpster show. He's a shit-ass coach, and we know that, man. He rides off the coattail of Peyton Manning. Listen, he should never been hired. How do you hire a losing coach? How do you hire?
Yeah, but like, I don't even care. Like, but I don't even care about I don't even care about the past, dude. Like, I don't even care about last year. I want to know, as an organization, what are they doing to win this season? Like, as of now, and how are they? Like, who is making the decision to handle this colossal disaster? Like, who's doing it? Like, they should have. To me personally, they should have already acted on it and had some kind of meeting and kind of squashed some of this to save everybody, including Jamal, embarrassment. Which they're not doing that. They're going to hide, which is fine. But who's making the decision? Who is going to say, who is making, okay, if it's, say the Cowboys offer us 2 second-rounders instead of a first and third, who tells Joe Douglas that's enough? Or does he have the power to say, you know what, I'm not going to take that? Does ownership step in? Like, like, I don't know the power structure here, and I don't have any confidence in it until it proves me otherwise.
Tyson, you know what, brother, I absolutely agree with you, bro. And that's the whole problem with this organization. We keep going through this same kind of stuff over and over again, trying to decide, saying, listen,
this is their chance to change it. This is their chance to change it.
How do you lose a player that you drafted, man? That you groomed to be a great player?
They didn't add a Gase. That's the problem. That's the problem.
But listen, at the end of the day, Tyson, I don't care if I drafted him or not. He's a damn awesome-ass player. I'm not letting him get out the door, man. Now that he wants to go out the door, I'm wondering why he's going out the door. This organization, man, has always been this kind of organization. So we always have the problem of not doing our job or not having good players. And now we got a Pro Bowl player who doesn't want to be here, man. And I'm so sick of this, man. It's absolutely a joke.
All right, we're going to go to Joey in Sunset Park. Joey, where's Sunset Park at? Long Island? Where is that?
Nah, it's in Brooklyn, man.
Brooklyn. Nice. Well, welcome aboard, man. What are your thoughts on this?
Thanks for having me on, bro. Like, first off, I'd like to say, bro, like, I love your show. I think this show, like, is top-notch amongst all Jet material. It's the realest. Gives you an all-around perspective. It's not jockeying, like, the moves of a certain team, like, where they could do right in every sense. Like, and I love that about this show. You guys are, like, the realest. The team you got on is, like, man. And even though I'm a first-time caller, I love hearing all you guys, like, talk Jets, man. So thanks for that.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate it, man. What are your thoughts on this Jamal Adams situation, man? It's crazy.
Well, like, as far, like, I mean, it's ever changing. I mean, like, 'cause initially, like, before, like, this whole thing went down, I was with trading Jamal Adams. As dope as I think he is, I think he's the best in the box safety. I think he's the best soft safety in football. But being that the Jets weren't ready to contend, I was with trading him before all this went down, and I love Jamal Adams. I think he's nasty. But
right
let
me ask you a question. What would you take for him, though?
What's up?
I mean, hold on. Let me stop parting your wisdom.
Before this whole thing went down, to be frank, before this whole thing went down, I mean, I think the conversation should have started at, like, 2 first. And I think we could have bagged 2 first. I mean, like, I think Jamal Adams has a little bit more impact than Ramsey, and I think we could have gouged a little bit on that. But, I mean, like, the situation that we've been painted into now, like, thanks to, them not reaching out to Jamal Adams and letting him know what the stance of the franchise is moving forward. And, I mean, like, we kind of been painted into a corner, and, like, I don't think we're going to bag, like, a first and a third even. I mean, maybe if we're lucky, we could bag that, but I don't think that's confident. I don't think that is due. I'd rather, like, what's up?
If you're the GM, what would you take right now? I mean, what's the least you would take for Jamal right now? Oh, and if you couldn't get what you want, what would be your next move?
I mean, the least I would take for him would be a first and a second, but I think right now, like, it's going to be a first and a third or less, and I think it might be way less than that. I mean, like, you see what they got for, like, Deshaun and the homeboy that went to Minnesota, the receiver, and I think a wide receiver is, like, a little bit more valuable than a strong safety, even though Jamal Adams is, like, the premier strong safety in the league.
Yeah, but Joey, don't you think the Jets are in a tough spot for 2 reasons? And I think the first reason is that Jamal can not veto a trade, but he can make a trade very difficult if he doesn't want to go to a team and re-sign there. So he can be like, listen, you can trade for me, but I'm not gonna sign a new contract there. So you can get me for 2 years. I'm gonna be out of here. Secondly, it's so tough, dude. This is just
that's the thing, though. Right now, we've been painted into a corner as far as what we can get back for him too. So I tell Jamal,
team could tell you, like,
right now,
like you could tell them, like, that they know the Jets are screwed. Like, they know the Jets are in a rock and a hard place. They know that Jamal wants out, and they're in a really bad spot. So the Jets say we want a first and a third, and their best offer is only, say, 2 seconds. Then what do? Do you cave in and get, like, what's the breaking point to make that decision?
I wouldn't cave in, Ty. Like, frankly, I talk to Jamal first. I tell him, listen, like, if you're willing to give him 18 or 19, supposedly he's looking for 20. I tell Jamal, listen, we're willing to give you 18. If you don't want it, we're going to stick with you. I mean, like, we like the talent that you have. I mean, if you don't take that 18, we'll see you in camp. Like, you've already made as much of a headache as you could. Pretty soon, baseball is going to be starting, and hockey. Like, I mean, like, your contract demands or trade demands are going to fall on the ears of people that are thoroughly entertained with other sports. I mean, like right now, this is the biggest story in sports probably, but it ain't gonna be shit like in a matter of a week. I'd rather keep Jamal and maybe try to trade him in this coming off season and see what we get then. Right now, the Jets are in a shit. I didn't expect for us to compete much regardless. I mean, I did want the development of the other cast that we got on our team without the headache of a player asking for a trade. But it is what it is. I mean, I'd rather have Jamal and maybe get a similar package to him this offseason rather than be bullied into making a move. And, like, you know, a lot of people are shitting on Jamal. I mean, like, I'm not doing it to shit on Jamal. He's just a dope player. I mean, I'd rather have him and not get gypped rather than, like, trade him out of desperation and bag a couple thirds from a team.
Well, you know what it is, too? It's a test for Joe Douglas, man, because if you know that – I mean, if a player knows that I can bully over this organization and cause chaos and get shipped out for, you know, whatever – other teams are going to take advantage of it. Players take advantage of it. And this is kind of like Joe Douglas' defining moment. Like, how do you handle this? And now you're going to learn about the power structure, who can make the final decision. I mean, there's so many moving parts here. And I'm with you, dude. Like, I'm listening. I want a first and a third, or I want a first and a wide receiver. And if I don't get it, Jamal, see you in August, man. Come report. If you want to hold out, lose your money, knock yourself out, you're going to be a member of the Jets this year. Tough shit. Like,
wow, yeah, I mean, and we've seen like the worst that it. Like, we're kind of like in the beginning stages of the worst that it could get. Like, as far as Jamal, like, dragging us through the mud in the press. I mean, like that whole like thing, like where you know he's trying to get traded to the Cowboys. And he put that on video, like over that guy, like recording. That was like really corny on him. But you know, I'm still not holding it against him. I mean, it's a business move ultimately on his part. Like, and he has the right to do that. But we're making business. We got to make business with the Jets too. I mean, you know, so I'd rather see you at camp or at the end of camp, and try to get a better deal for us if you don't want to be here. I mean, if he does want to be here, I'd make like a decent offer like right now, and if he's not willing to take it, I mean, see you at the end of camp if need be. But another thing too, like as far as like the things that were listed off earlier, like you know, with like how the Jets were shitty, I agree with a lot of that stuff. Little by little, I mean, not little by little. Like this off season, we did go into the fixing of one of them as far as competent drafting. Like a lot of people like look at like one of our better drafts of recent history, like 2006 when we bagged Mangold and the Brickashaw.
We gotta hope,
that draft,
man.
like
Yeah,
everybody else,
we gotta hope.
Sucked.
Yeah. We gotta hope.
Yeah,
like we always,
we got the quarterback.
we gotta hope though, man, because we gotta think. We always say this. It seems like every year we justify all the draft picks, and then like 2 years later we want to cut all of them. So we gotta hope our luck has changed with that.
I've shitted on almost every draft class we've had. I mean, it's either lackluster, like, or I like try to psych myself up into thinking like, all right, you know, this guy's gonna be good. But usually I shit on most draft class. This draft class, I'm not saying that it's like over the top, the best thing in the world, but it's really good for Jet standards. Like, I mean, a lot of people were pleased with what we ended up bagging.
Well,
I wish we would have got more receivers, but.
No, listen, I agree. I think when you look at the draft, I mean, you learned what Joe Douglas' type of player was, like, you know, versatile, high character, team first. He got a lot of good value. He navigated the draft trading back, and it made a lot of sense, and he got really good value. And I agree with that. And he actually got good value in free agency, too, where he did a lot of, like, some, you know, like, low-risk, high-reward moves. Like, I agree with you. I feel comfortable with all that. It was respected. Like, he's got a front office. But I think this is a really good test with Jamal Adams now. And next year is a bigger test because, well, assuming they have, say, $85 million of cap space. Who knows what it is? He's going to have a lot of cap space now. So now he's going to be a bigger player in free agency, and he's going to have a ton of holes. So now it's going to see how does he's going to, you know what I mean? He's going to have a lot more to spend. Does he spend wisely? Does he make that big splash? Like, this was a good, like, starting point for him. But next year and this Jamal thing is an enormous test for him, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, a lot, like, nobody wants Gase. I've never met one Jet fan like, oh, you know, we're going to see what Gase does.
Fireman Ed does. Fireman Ed loves Gase. I don't know why, but he does.
Bro. Like, I mean, no, and I'm not going to front. Like, I wasn't, like, if it was between McCarty and Gase, like, when we were hiring him, I was more for Gase. I'm not going to front. But Gase is terrible. Like, and
you're part of the problem.
Like, I don't know what I was going through a tough time then. Yeah, but,
dude, listen, there was a lot of people out there that were very excited about the Gase hire, and they quickly vanished in a matter of like 6 weeks of last year. They all went into hiding. So it's okay.
Yeah. But I mean, little by little, I mean, like, we got one big step out of the way as far as, like, being satisfied with what the draft had to offer us. And let's see where this goes. Yeah, man, but I'm not, I think, like, as Jet fans, I think we'd be more not making shitty trade, like, and that's what Jamal Adams could force us to do, like, because the Cowboys ain't going to run up anything more than a first round.
But brother, Jamal can't force a bad trade. It's up to our management to accept the bad trade. That's what we got to understand. Like, Jamal's under contract, so he can want to go anywhere he wants to go. But I'm not moving Jamal for nothing. I'm not giving him away. It just makes no sense. You kill our team like that. Listen. Tyson, you said something I just thought about. Like, this is so big for Joe Douglas because if you set a precedent to where you're going to let players bully you out, every agent is going to just tell their players, look, act the ass and they'll let you go. You know what I'm saying? That all of this factors in. This is big. This is really, really big. Like, this is a major – this is going to determine what the Jets are going to be in the next 5 or 10 years. This move right here. This is big, bro. I didn't think about that at all.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot for the Jets to be in a good place. I mean, because right now, like, we're looking at the Rex Ryan era as, like it with, glowingly. Like, and a lot of people were, like, I remember I used to bitch about Rex Ryan all the time. But if that's, like, a high bar for us, I mean, like, it's going to take us a lot of time and a lot of smart thinking from management to get back to a really good place.
Hey, brother, I'm not going to lie, though,
it's
brother.
It's going to happen slowly.
I'm not going to lie to you, brother. I sure miss Rex Ryan right about now, buddy. I ain't even going to lie.
Nah, me too, bro. Like, I mean, like, I look at, like, games from then, like, on YouTube now, like, and, like, and that, like, during that era, though, I was bitching around Rex Ryan and the management all the time, like, and, like, but to an even better spot than that, like, it's going to take slow, like, hard changes, like, hopefully Gase isn't back, like, I mean, like, but I do want a successful, like, year next year, but but it's the Jets, though, man. I mean, like, I'm already thoroughly used to this. I don't like being in this position at all, but it is what it is, man. Like, and we're here now, and, like, I just don't want to get off the block by one player. Well, what would be the max? Before I dip, though, man, like, I know you got other callers, but what would be the max that you offer Jamal comfortably now?
As a contract? I give him his 15, 16 million. I'd have no problem giving him money, dude. I've said I have no problem making the highest paid safety in football. Wouldn't bother me one bit. Doesn't even faze me.
What about 18?
I don't think money's gonna matter at this point. I think he wants out, and I think we could give him $20 million. He'll say no.
Nah,
I think he'd budge at a dollar amount, though, bro. Remember, his dad got injured. From what I heard, like, his dad got injured. And he was never able to bank in, if I remember correctly. But I think a dollar amount would bring him to the fold. But I'd be comfortable. I mean, worst case scenario, I think I'd go like 18 and a half. And that's a lot, man. Like,
yeah, I mean the value, like, the value is, like, they're saying, like, the value would be like $16 million if you look, like, Joel Corey talked about it, like, and that's even unprecedented money for a safety. But listen, like, it's the guaranteed money. Like, it's all comes down to that. It's the extension. It's all, like, if you guarantee, the average is $18 million, but you're only averaging, it's fine. Like, I don't care. I want to keep them, but now it's just a matter of that there's too much damage done. I don't really have no idea at this point. But Joey, thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me on, man. VA Jet fans and Jersey, I think where you're from, Jet fans, we're long suffering, and we love this team. I love this team, and I love hearing you guys talk Jets, bro. Like, this is the illest Jets show on air, man. And thanks for letting me on too, bro. Go Jets!
Awesome, man. Have a great night, man. Thank you. All right, we're gonna go to our good friend Justin. Justin, what's up, man?
Oh my God! What's going on? What's going on, Tyrone? What's happening?
Well, let's hear your thoughts, Justin.
Oh, my God. Just the more I think about this scenario, the more I just scratch my head, man. This is just so aggravating. Every day there's more garbage coming out with this team. It's just your head is always exploding with this team.
So what do you do, man? How do you handle this?
I just think you just let it rock right now. There's really nothing to be done. I mean, we're getting close to the training camp. You just let it rock. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Let this guy keep talking, whatever. No big deal. Just let him keep talking, and that's it. End the story. We have the leverage right now. Joe Douglas has the cards. I mean, he's showing the cards right now, and there's nothing you can do to beat him. He's got the pocket aces right now, Joe Douglas.
Hey Justin, I'm gonna tell Tyson a real quick scenario and a real quick story. You know how I found out about the Dallas mess? Yo, Justin texted me. He was like, "Bro, did you see that? What do you do?" So this is my guy right here. So Justin, what I want to say to you is this, bro. I know you're frustrated. We've talked all week about this. The biggest question I got for you now: if you're sitting in Joe Douglas' seat, bro, I mean, what do you suggest he do right now? Because I don't think this can be fixed. I don't think it will be fixed. I don't think any amount of money will fix this for Jamal. I think the kid just wants to go. So what I'm asking you, Justin, you know what I mean? What do you do if you're the GM of the Jets right now, which you want to work for the Jets one day anyway? What's your move right now?
I kind of think. I mean, the more I start to think about it, the more I think that the damage is already done. I think it's not even about the money. I think it's done. The hole is too big. The hole is like 20 feet deep now, and I don't think you can jump in the hole and dig back the sand up. I think the hole is just so deep right now where it's over. The damage has already been done. I think this guy's already out the door. I think the more I think about it, the more this guy is gone. It's just what you're going to get for this guy at this point.
So what is the minimum? Yeah, what's the minimum then? Yeah, exactly.
The minimum is not. I mean, I think I said the minimum was Jalen Ramsey, 2 first and a third rounder. But yeah, I think that he did. This guy just talks so much. That's done. Those days are done, man. 2 first rounders. I think you'll be lucky. I think you'll be lucky if you got 1 first rounder at this point. Now, the more I think about it, this guy's going to just keep running his mouth. But I just don't think you can do anything less than a first and a third. I mean, Stephon Diggs got a first rounder, a fifth, and a sixth. I mean, that's at a receiver position. I mean, I think teams are going to start to lowball us. Like Beckham, a third rounder and a fifth rounder. I mean, I think you just hold on to him at this point. I mean, a third and a fifth for an All-Pro. I mean, that's horrible.
No way. I feel you, Justin. Feel you.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. I think got to play hardball.
I thought Kevin brought up an excellent point. What does that say for a guy like Marcus Maye? I think Marcus Maye is gone. So now at a premium position, quote unquote, a position that we were quote unquote a strength. Now you can argue it's probably a weakness.
Yep. It's crazy, man, because you think back, I was thinking about this, like there was a time when we had like Wilkerson, Richardson, Harrison, that whole defensive line, like all these guys we had, and Leonard Williams, like we have all this great defensive line. Then it was like, oh, we have Adams and May, the secondary, the future, all this, and there's a chance that next year they both could be gone. But life happens fast in New York, man. It's just, you can't make it up, man.
Yeah, no,
only the Jets, man. We're the only team that, listen, how do you have a strong point one season and a season later could be looking for 2 safeties this year in the draft? Man, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. You better hope this Davis kid can play, because could you imagine the backlash if the Davis guy can't play and we get rid of Jamal? You can already see the writing on that one. Oh, you better hope.
Dude, the thing is this, but Justin, you're making a good point though. You're making a good point. Is you trade Jamal now, and then don't sign Davis is going to be a starter, and he doesn't play well. Jesus Christ, this fan base will tear everybody apart.
And then they don't sign May, and then they don't re-sign May on top of that one.
Oh my God! Thank God we can laugh, man. It's better than crying. Holy shit!
Yeah, at this rate, man. All right,
Justin, thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, this shows, man. This is our part 2 show is just as much fun as our part 1, Tyrone.
Hey man, listen, that's my guy, man. Justin is always gonna give you his point. Tyson, when I tell you, I didn't even know. Justin was like, "Yo, did you see that? I go to Twitter. I was like, yo, like I said, man, I love Justin, man. Always crazy takes, always giving a great perspective, man. And like I said, what if May leaves, Tyson? Wow. What if May leaves? You can't make this shit up, bro.
Just, you know what the funny thing is? Like I have like all the alerts set on my phone and stuff like this. How I find out most of the time is a good friend of mine, the Buffalo Bills fan. And, dude, he loves nothing more than torture me with this shit. I look at my phone. Like, all I see is his name pop up on the phone. I'm like, what'd they do now? It's never nothing good. Like, anything good happens, I won't hear a peep from. Whenever I see his name on my phone, I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, what could possibly have gone wrong now? It's like, it's the off season. Like, you know what I mean? It's a random Tuesday in, like, June. Like, what could possibly go wrong in June? Well, here we go.
Hey, listen.
Merry Christmas.
When I said we're making headlines, man, we're on every major. Listen, there's nothing going on. We're on every major network is talking about the Jets.
Yo, know what's bad? I'll just be worse. Dude, my mailman, like I work in an office up in Somerset, New Jersey. The mailman comes in. We usually talk sports like that. He walks in with this big smile on his face. Jamal Adams, huh? I'm like, son of a bitch, you too? Like, you're going to talk like you're going to give me shit too? I'm like, the friggin' mailman's harassing me. Like, this is horrendous. Bro, like, I hate it.
Hey, this life as a Jet fan is hard, man. And only Jet fans understand this bullshit. We're the only ones that realize how bad this sucks. Like,
the best thing is,
it's always
Tyler,
something.
The best thing is, if anybody, people that are listening, go listen to our fan series interviews on YouTube. There's probably like 30 of them at this point. And my favorite question always is, what is life as a Jets fan? And it's the same answer from every fan of all ages, dude. Frustrating, aggravating, nobody understands. You got to live through it. It's just the same answer over and over. It's funny as hell. So we're going to go.
Bro.
It's torture. We're going to go to our good friend Spotty Blackman. Kevin, what's up, man?
Oh, my goodness. A celebrity in the building. Mr. Spotty Blackman himself.
No celebrities. No celebrities here.
A lot of autographs on this show right now. Holy cow.
Listen.
Everybody's signed autographs.
I can't wait for this one. Let's go.
Welcome to our chaos, man.
That's funny. Yeah, what's going on, guys? Look, you guys are popping tonight, man. You guys are popping tonight, no question. Sorry about the technical issues. You know, we've lived through them. That's pretty jacked up. But what can you say? Somebody presses a button or somebody doesn't.
Yep, that's it. So, Kevin, what's your take on this,
Blackman
man?
Himself. Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what? I'm just going to be honest. You've been talking about this for a while, but you know, I've kind of evolved on this because I think I started where Kevin was. You know, when Prime was talking about it earlier, I was listening, just thinking to myself like, that's exactly, you know, I think what a rational, you know, person would sound like when they're discussing this. If you really think about it from both sides, you know, obviously there is no news being reported in this. There's no news. It's just all emotion. It's just raw. It's people being pissed off. It's fans who all of a sudden want to be pissed off because they're really kind of cursing out a guy that, you know, who was just the prez, you know, a few minutes ago. So, you know, it really is a jacked up situation. But I can wrap this up for me really in kind of one small thing. It's I think in the end, Joe Douglas is going to come out of this smelling like a rose. And I think the problem is that, you know, everybody's right. He hasn't said anything. The team hasn't communicated anything to Jamal Adams. So Jamal Adams being pissed off is going to do what it is that he's doing, and he's going to be extra about it. Now, you know, what Jay said earlier about you know, that Adam Gase thing, for some reason to me, I don't know. I mean, we all you know, kind of have our hate towards Adam Gase, but that sounds like something that asshole would do. And if he did do something like that, you know, now you got to think, if that gets back to Jamal Adams and the only thing that I hear from the camp is that, oh, hell no.
Yep.
Oh, hell no. Yeah, no. There won't be no playing for the Jets again. But Joe Douglas is the man right now who holds the cards. And really what I think Joe Douglas is doing, and if all of this stuff about ownership being involved in these decisions and all of that is actually true, then more than likely he's not going to be here as long as Adam Gase is, because I don't see how he would allow himself if he is this upstanding guy, this up and comer, he'll get another opportunity if the narrative behind him leaving the Jets was that the team was doing things to stop him from doing what it is that he was hired to do.
Exactly.
All right. So now here's this. He does it well because I'm looking at this saying we've never really seen it before. We've never seen what it's like to have a team be structurally built by a guy who knows what he's doing and can do it continuously, because Tyrone's point, we don't really know who Joe Douglas is yet. I mean, we know who they say he's been, but we don't know what he's going to do in this role because he's never done it before. We don't know what he's going to do here because damn, it's here. You know what I'm saying? So this is an issue. Joe Douglas is maybe doing himself a service by not saying anything about the Jamal Adams situation, only to have Jamal come back, and then again you do have that in
but Kevin, are you concerned though? Like, listen, I get it. Like in terms of his resume and what he knows, like I respect Joe Douglas for a lot of things, but my concern is like you're kind of assuming that Adam Gase doesn't have a lot of power to overpower Joe Douglas, which I can maybe debate that a little bit.
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that Adam Gase does have power. And if Joe Douglas doesn't do what he needs to do, then he'll resign, or he should, or he'll leave.
But where does ownership come in?
Nobody wants this guy to be in control of anything. Come on now. I think this is what happens. Joe Douglas, he slow plays this. He's quiet about it. When it comes down to the point in time where he has to sign Jamal, he signs Jamal. Jamal comes in, we play. If we don't play well, if the team isn't doing what it is that we need to do, then Adam Gase is gone by mid-season.
But Spotty, I got a question for you, brother.
Hold on a second, Tyron. But I got a question because the power structure here. So who do you think makes the final decision on this trade? So if the Jets want a first and third, but they're only offered 2 seconds, does Joe Douglas have the power to say no, or who makes the final decision? Is it Joe Douglas? Is it ownership? Like who's making the final sign off on this trade?
No. Joe Douglas is a fool if he trades Jamal Adams. I don't care what the King's ransom is. This might be where I differ. I don't care what you offer. I'm just going to keep it real. At this point, I don't think it was a good idea for us to kind of continue to kick these things around, because the reality is we're not going to get anything. We're not going to get no 2 firsts. We're not going to get a first and a third. We're not going to get any of that. That's not the way this situation is moving towards right now. Jamal Adams is not going to make it easy. And Joe Douglas and the team not saying anything as of right now. They're not going to make it where it's beneficial for them to do so. It's just not going to happen. Jamal Adams is going to play football here next year, period.
But Spotty, my question for you is this then. My question for you is this, pardon your wisdom. I want to ask you, so if you're Joe Douglas and you said you're not going to trade him, I mean, if he doesn't want to play, I know he's going to show up. He's a ball player. He's going to show up. But how is this resolved? I mean, are you talking about keeping him for this season and trade them next off season? I mean, doing the trade deadline, or are we talking about after the next year's draft? What are you saying?
I'm talking about giving Jamal Adams maybe a $5 or $6 million, maybe $7 million bonus for this season, with the idea that the contract negotiations will extend going forward. And I mean, really, whoever is advising Jamal Adams is not really doing a good job, because they're kind of killing his brand here with all of this nonsense. But Joe Douglas does hold all the cards. Jamal Adams does not. The only value that Jamal Adams has right now is on the field. Period. That's where we get what it is that we need to get from him on the field. If we keep him and he plays, even if he's pissed off, Tyrone said it earlier, and I've been saying it for weeks, we're better with him, period. We're a better team with him. And Jamal wants to win, yeah. If we come in and we do start playing well enough on the defense for us to kind of allow Jamal to kind of feel like maybe he's seeing some things, and then maybe, the rumblings are that Adam Gase is gone. And I have to say this just because I know Tyson's been talking about this for quite some time, and I think there is some level of truth to it, but I don't know what it is. Adam Gase is most definitely weighing on this situation. He's weighing on this situation. I'm not going to talk all night. I just want to say this team has been a shit show for a really long time. I think Jamal Adams has seen what Mike McCagnon was doing when he was here, and I think as of right now, he saw the writing on the wall that Mike McCagnon got bumped the way that he did because of how he handled things, and Joe Douglas may not be in a position right now to communicate the way that he wants to or the way that he should, and it's going to hurt this negotiation between them. But I think in the end, he's able to smooth it over. This is a football guy. This is a guy, I think, who knows what it is that he's going to need to say to Jamal Adams once it's all said and done to allow Jamal to get on the field and do what he needs to do. I still think Adam Gase is gone, and I think he's gone before the end of the season. I think that this defense is going to be so ridiculously nasty next season that the problems are going to be glaring that it is offense, and Adam Gase is out of here. And I think if we do start winning, when those changes are made, Jamal gets what it is that he wants. He gets a contract extension. Because if we give him some money this year, I can almost guarantee you $17 million is not a ridiculous number. I actually think that's the sweet spot. If we go there with him, there is no question he's happy. He takes it. We're good, period. We move forward. Adam Gase gone. We start winning. Jamal Adams gets what he wants. All the fan base gets what he wants. Unfortunately, this is the drama that we had to deal with during the coronavirus season. But facts are, Jamal Adams is a Jet, man. If Joe Douglas is serious about what it is that he said he's going to do, that's going to happen, and all of this nonsense is going to be water on the bridge. It'll be something we talk about, but what we're really going to be talking about is how good that guy is and why we were smart to pay him and why Joe Douglas changed the culture by paying him and keeping our homegrown guys. How many of our first round draft picks really get to second contracts that really stay and actually do work? No.
Spotty Blackman, baby.
So Kevin, give out all your information, man. Give out your about your show and your Twitter handle.
Yeah, excuse me. I talk a lot, guys. Weapon Talk Podcast, Spotty Blackman, my man. CJ the Painkiller D. Simone, that guy does really good work, guys. A lot of respect to your show. I see CJ work his ass off every week. It's ridiculous. Jets fan Joe 523, excuse me, for CJ. CNC Jets Factor is the website. That's our Twitter handle. You can come and interact with us on the page. Guys, come holler at us, man. Real talk. This is fun. Tyson, you kick ass, my guy. Tyrone. We don't always agree. We talk about this all the time. We don't always agree. But real talk. You do your thing, big kid. You do your thing.
Hey, baby,
I'm proud of you.
It's nothing but love with you, brother. Nothing but love talking to you, bro. We've been going at this for a while, bro. You're one of the best to do it. I love your opinion. I love the way you come on, bro. Like I said, Weapons Hot, baby. Great podcast, man. You and CJ, bro. What y'all do is amazing, bro. So, like you said, I'm a fan, bro. I'm a fan.
We're getting ready to try to move to be able to take calls, I think, in a little while. We're still kind of working that out. But Sundays at 7. Check out the last podcast. We had Tony Pauline on that. That dude's the beast. Yeah, check us out. That should be on the page right now also. Guys, thanks again, man. You guys are killing it.
Have a good night, Kevin. Thank you.
Good night.
All right, we're gonna bring Primetime back on now. We're gonna bring Primetime out. You get our peanut pitted.
More shots tonight.
So Primetime, I have some questions for you. You ready for this?
Yep, go ahead.
Did any of the arguments or anything tonight about this whole situation, does that change your opinion on anything, or do you kind of still think of how you're heading?
No, I mean, my opinion is grounded in a lot of facts and knowing the situation, knowing the organization and the history of this organization, and knowing Adam Gase and his history, and just seeing the overall change in Jamal Adams over the last, couple of months. It's clear how the situation has evolved and how it's escalated. And I'll say it a million times. Jamal has handled it poorly, but it doesn't change, how we got to this point.
So do you think there's any way to get a way to make him play this year and then ship him off after the season, or do you think something's gonna happen before the season starts?
I mean, I think it's escalated to a point that he doesn't have the intention of ever putting on a Jet uniform ever again. But it could also be him just, showing his best hand and, really trying to push negotiations along or, actually get the trade done. But whether or not he's actually willing to forfeit money and not show up, that's a different conversation. I don't know if he would take it to that point. I could certainly see him, if he is really legitimately ticked off at people within the organization and Gase and the owners and all that, I could see him, if the Jets just refuse to, engage in contract talks or trade talks, just really pulling coming to camp, but just half-assing it, not talking to media, just doing the minimum, faking injuries, hamstring here. Like, I could see
hamstring and back.
Like that.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep.
So
and that would be, yeah, exactly. So I could definitely see something along those lines and then ending up, happening. So that would be a shame if it did.
Hey, Prime Time, I got a question for you, Prime Time. So,
Tyron's got a lot of questions, Kevin. You notice that?
Hey,
Tyron's got a lot of questions. But the better question is, did Kevin enjoy Jay roasting Tyrone? That's the question.
See, listen. Why do you got to bring up old stuff, man?
I was having a conversation with Dan from Howard Beach, so I missed the part where Jay was roasting him. I missed it. I got to go back.
I'm glad. Listen, this is Prime Time. I'm glad you missed that call, but it really wasn't nothing. But don't worry.
It's recorded, though. Don't worry.
Listen to the podcast. Skip over. But Prime Time, what I want to ask you is this. Well, number one, I'm on the phone with two.
Definitely
I'm on
post
the phone
that clip.
with two celebrities. Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you, Tyson. I appreciate that. Listen, growing pains. Prime Time, what I want to ask you is this, and I've been saying the same thing, man. I don't see this being able to be repaired. So if you can't find a trade partner for Jamal, what do you do?
Well, I think this is just going to end up lingering then. Whether Jamal shows up or not, that's to be determined. But I don't think the Jets would budge because I think they would look terrible if they did. It would look like, Jamal was bullying them. So I think they would, just knowing the personalities that are in that room, they would hold their ground and, let him sit out or, eventually work out a trade that was for the right compensation, which I would have to assume would be at least that first and third that they turned down at the trade deadline, if not more than that, since you turned that down, knowing what the picks were potentially going to be. So,
What a disaster. What an absolute freaking disaster. This is just
chill, buddy.
Well, Prime Time.
Definitely is a shit show.
Thank you again for joining us. We had technical difficulties. How would you evaluate Tyrone?
Hold on, I got another thing.
Okay.
So I think it was Matt and Philly who mentioned Pat Mahomes, and I've heard a bunch of takes on Pat Mahomes and how he hasn't got paid yet. But I mean, when you're talking about a quarterback, not only is Mahomes going to get $40 million a year whenever he gets his contract, but I mean, the quarterback market that gets reset literally every single year. Those contracts, I mean, it doesn't matter who signs it, Kirk Cousins, whoever, like they're only going to keep going up a ridiculous amount. Jamal is going to be the one who resets the safety market by a significant amount because he is, I think, significantly better than the next safety in the league. So I think he deserves that kind of payday, and that's why he's asking for it. And the point I keep going back to, I've said this a bunch of times on YouTube, like I keep hearing how 2 years left on his contract, he shouldn't be saying a word. He has no reason to ask for a contract, but teams do give them to players after 3 years. There are plenty of examples of it. Christian McCaffrey is the most recent one, and, people want to dismiss that because he's a running back in his offense, but you still have plenty of other guys, Luke Kuechly, J.J. Watt, Patrick Peterson. So, I mean, there's plenty of examples. Tyron Smith, like the list goes on of guys that have gotten contracts after 3 years. So Jamal has obviously played at an all-pro level, so he deserves that money. He's shown it on and off the field until you escalated things and did whatever you did behind the scenes that got things to this point, not having communications. So, again, like, it's just been an absolute clusterfuck that, has gotten things to this point. It's a shame on both sides.
Dude, no arguments here, man. Like, there's a part where nobody wins in this. Like, there's a part of that happens. Right now, it's a disaster, dude.
Absolutely.
Did we just lose Tyson?
Yeah, I think we did, man. Wow, this is software, man. He's really definitely trying to get the software right. I don't know what's going on.
I was gonna say it's all him. It's not us, right?
Yeah, it's definitely him. But Prime Time, man, why I got you here for a minute, man, I just want to say one thing, bro. Like, I love your takes, man.